Today, I'm just gonna explain it. So, this morning, I went to church and there's really not much to know here. I just find it annoying that sometimes the priest in the homily seems to be a little bit preachy or morally ahead of himself sometimes. My mom messed with me and that, you guys know she's complex. She tells me that you should do this, do what he says, stop being this or that. That really depends on what context she's talking about. It is annoying for her to say it and for me to hear it during Mass because she uses her phone during Mass. She also falls asleep during Mass a lot of the time. Anyways, without that out of the way, I already covered the complexity of my mom if you guys want to view it in my older videos. My mom took us to IHOP and I decided to keep it nice and full of protein. 2 eggs, steak, broccoli, and 2 quesadilla pieces. I then made the video I made earlier about the social reality. This one's the latest one. It's where it gets interesting if you guys want to view that. Now, I wanted to go to the park that is pretty far away from my location, play tennis with random people. And during the bike ride too there, I kept facing problems in that my seat keeps pointing to the sky because the seat itself was loose. Even if I tightened other things, even if I was to secure it, it just keeps going up. It just keeps leaning. So I had to painfully ride there to the park while having to manage the seat itself and make sure gravity pulls it downward instead of having it sitting up to the sky. Like, it was kind of like a struggle trying to do that. The odd thing is that during one of my stops to fix the seat, what seemed to be a young girl riding a motorbike in the middle of the busy road as I was fixing and making the way for the crosswalk. I found it odd because this is a suburb, so there isn't as much police presence, and the civilians won't really bother to care unless something happens. I was focused on stabilizing my bike seat, as I said, but my assumption is that it must be the suburbs, so there's not really many people here, and a lot of people want to do what other people are doing. That's a young girl. She probably is like 9 to 10 years old. I thought she looked like she was like 3 years old, probably because of height difference. But she was on the road. I mean, it's her decision, their parents' decision. I probably would have rode a motorbike at that age, to be honest, if I knew the risks. I didn't even know how to bike then. As you guys know, yes, I did bring my rackets with me in my backpack and along with a shuttle and ball. Little ping pong ball. I decided to keep going to the park far away amongst the struggle, bringing my rackets and to see if I could play with anyone. The thing is that I don't have friends in my immediate vicinity, so not everyone I can come with at the same time. I don't have anyone too that I could also come with me then. So I was placed at the mercy of whoever was at the park. It gives me range. That means I can play with adults, I can play with kids, I can play with people my age. But the thing is that I tried to find people who could be playing with me. But the thing is that most adults were either having a conversation, taking care of their own kids, or some were busy in a barbecue. And for me, I spent like 40 minutes trying to find a good group in. But I asked a couple even then, but they also said no. They said for me to hit them up next week for the game, even though I don't even have the media at all, so that's kind of funny. I wore sunscreen, so thankfully what I did instead is that I accepted defeat. Not all the days I'm going to find like random people to play with after those 40 minutes, and that's okay. But painfully, I decided to bike to another local park again that's nearby to that park, and I spent like 20. Well, it was still painful on the bike ride there because I still had to adjust my seat. It kept going to the sky. But when I was at that other park, I spent like 20 minutes again, and I hesitated who to ask. But it was mostly busy parents like the last one. So I approached a random group of people who looked like they're having some sort of picnic, and it was multiple girls and one boy. They let him play with me and them, and so we played modified badminton with the big rackets, and then I also played modified ping pong with the kid. It actually went well most of the time, and then we both won some matches and we lost some matches. So thankfully, I did find a play partner for this. After we decided to stop playing the sport. I saw a vendor who was selling ice slushies, chips, and plenty of snacks. I then decided that even though it might break my fast today, we'll get it because he probably needs support to live in this country and economy, to be honest. So I brought one. It tastes absolutely amazing and it was refreshing for the day, though that was a ton of sugar. Thankfully, I only drank half of it and I saved the rest. It was hot though, so that means there was a lot of sun. I mean, and after that, I went home. So credit to Liam, even though the bike ride home was so a little far and painful. Credit to Liam now for participating with me. Thanks. You might not see this until the far, far future. And as for me, I'm like a toasted white boy right now since I was in the sun. Thankfully, I did wear sunscreen, but I did feel refreshed since I did find someone to play, these modified sports with.